Hey guys, Dan the Man here, and today I'm gonna show you actually how you can fix a broken hinge on your computer for very cheap. So I bought this basically type of hot glue thing for about 20 cents of a dollar. It was actually a long and big stick like that. I cut half of it and I put it in a like a steel kind of bowl. And it was a spare bowl that I wouldn't use for anything, and then I melted it in there, so you can see there is some of that glue in there, and I actually applied it to the broken area of that hinge. So I lifted up the hinge and then I put some under it and then I put it back in and then just let it stay for let's say, for example, for about 10 minutes or so, as long as the glue is dry. I mean, you could be using the same thing if you have a hot glue gun kind of thing, or if you have like a heat gun, you could be doing the same thing, but I don't have any of those things. So the only thing that I could do was just use a stainless steel kind of bowl or a smaller bowl or whatever. I put the glue in there, I put it on very low heat on the stuff, and I let it just to melt for a while, and it melted, and I quickly applied it under the hinge area and I scratched off whatever was on top of it. So you see these bolts or whatever looking things in there, they were broken in there, so my laptop would look so weird and I was afraid of like opening it up and closing it all the time. So it's fixed now. If you would use this kind of glue, it's a silicone kind of glue, it costed me only about 20 cents of a dollar. Not even a dollar, so a fifth of a dollar. But if you guys can like find, I couldn't find actually those epoxy glues. If you could find any of those Epoxy Solutions, A and B solutions, that you can mix them and put them in there, it would be a lot more sturdy and better actually. So I've seen a lot of people who repair computers in shops, and here they use these hot glues because reason number one, they're cheap and they are flexible. I don't know if you can see that. They're flexible, so it's not a kind of dry kind of glue. So on the hinges, it's important for it to be flexible because when you open and close your laptop's lap, so it can actually, it wouldn't break because this kind of glue is flexible. You can also find some of those JW, Weld, whatever brand, or I can't remember the names of those brands, those epoxy glue brands, but they actually work very well, even better than this. So even if this thing breaks, like all I have to do is just just scratch it off and then heat up this area and glue it back again, or I can just buy actually an epoxy glue kind of thing. But this kind of solution usually works well for a couple of months or so, and it's very cheap. I've even seen people using this kind of method and it has lasted them for a long time, for about a year or so. But epoxy glues are, I think, a little bit stronger and better. There's this Gorilla brand too, it's quite flexible. I think that would be suitable for computers as well. But those epoxy glues would cost you maybe $10 or so, but this is like a fifth of a dollar. So it's basically like free. And if you happen to have a heat gun, use a heat gun. You can do a way better job than what I did in there. Let me just zoom in so maybe you can see it there, right? You can see there is underneath in there. And that's where the hinge was basically broken. And let me show you that it's actually reliable and it works just well. You can see I'm just opening the lid and then closing it, opening it and then closing it. You can see there's absolutely no problem in there. It's tacked in its place and it's not moving. So you could use this method if you would want to. It's very cheap. These glues they're just unbelievably cheap, and I never thought that they would actually keep something intact like a computer. But anyways, that's all. That's how you can fix your broken hinge on a computer or whatever that you have, and that's it. See you guys later.